Hey everyone, it's me, or a Dawson called Rashid. I'm your anthropologist and sociologist. Hit the like button, share this video, subscribe to the channel, become a member of the channel, and don't forget, donate the links below and check my novels on Amazon. Thank you very much. How far will society go to save face? I will ask you the question one more time. How far will society go to save face? We know that there are individual human beings out there that will go quite far to save face. People may lie, if lie causing others harm. For example, a guy who slept through his alarm in the morning and is late at work may blame it on the traffic, whatever, even though the traffic was not a factor at all in him being late. Why? Because he does want to lose face. He does want people to perceive him as less reliable. And he may not want to be fired also. Or, in more extreme cases, a woman had sex with a guy, consensual sex. She regretted afterwards having sex with him, and now because she regrets it, and the guy she was sleeping with is not considered a guy of good quality by other people, she doesn't want people to find out she slept with the guy. She may deny even know who the guy is, but once it comes out that she was sexually involved with him, she'll try to make him look like the bad guy. Some women even go so far to claim that the guy forced them to sex. And that's how you get false rape charges. You even have men going to prison for rapes they did not commit, and later they have to be exonerated. So, yeah, it's not just women doing things like this. There are men lying about things too. Like, they may lie they were forced into signing a contract. Well, that was not the case. Or people tend to go far to save face. Now, dangerous people tend to go extremely far. For example, a guy is married and the wife wants to leave him for another guy. And the wife leaving him will make him look bad, will make people question him. Well, and because he's so invested in having control, at least psychologically, we know human being has any real control anyway. Thing is, because this guy is so psychologically unstable that he relies on controlling other people to feel good about himself, anytime he perceives to lose control over the people he's controlling, it causes a mental breakdown. And if the mental breakdown is severe, it can lead to suicidal tendencies. So, dangerous people are people who are so mentally and emotionally unstable that any perceived threat to the fiction they're holding onto will be experienced by them as an actual life-threatening event. An actual life-threatening event is someone points a gun at your face, or when a car is speeding in your direction about to hit you, or when it's a natural disaster, or you wake up the building's on fire. Now, if you're in an actual life-threatening situation that you're about to die or be severely injured, guess what? In that case, you should feel terrified, have a lot of adrenaline, and go wild. The fight or flight response of your body is activated for you to get out of that situation. Or psychologically, you're so focused on survival. Or what if someone is in the survival mode and there is no actual life-threatening thing happening? In this case, the individual has a virtual, I would say, they have a virtual in this case, the individual has an internal crisis, and the internal crisis can indeed lead to them harming themselves and others, especially harming themselves. So, when such people feel threatened, and remember, that fiction rolling onto is a self-defense mechanism against having to own up to reality. When they lose that sense of self, or what we call the false self, what happens? They tend to turn suicidal, tend to turn themselves. So, one way to avert this is by focusing all this unrest on someone else. So, you will have people that will actually attack you while claiming to defend themselves. Because for them, feelings are facts. Oh, I feel cheated, so you must have cheated me. Oh, I feel done dirty, so you must have done me dirty. Their feelings are facts because for them to have to look at themselves and question themselves and examine themselves is too much for them. They don't want to go there. So anytime they feel bad or they feel injured or pain, they project onto the outside. It must be someone else's fault. Or even if they did wrong, it's because you make me do it or whatever. You know, such toxic and dangerous people tend to go that far. They tend to be dangerous. So a lot of domestic violence happens, also domestic murders. That's why often when someone is murdered, it's often the spouse or boyfriend, girlfriend, or anyone that was close to them that did it. Now, what if you have a reprobate, so an actual dangerous individual, whether a narcissist, social, psychopath, doesn't matter. What if you have a dangerous individual that talk crap behind your back? Like, nah, this Kevin over there, man, that guy will never get anywhere, man. The guy's lazy, the guy doesn't want to do anything serious. And suddenly, out of the blue, you succeed. Guess what? You succeeding will make him look bad. But the thing is, you had no idea he was talking crap behind your back. Nobody made him talk crap behind your back, so something he did to relieve himself. And now that the next thing he was talking about you doesn't come to pass, everyone's going to question, it's going to look bad. So once that individual finds out that you broke through, they'll either try to prevent others from knowing about it, or they try to come up with some smear campaign to distract people with some negative rumors about you, try to cancel out your breakthrough, or sometimes they will flat out attempt to murder you. As long as you are alive, living well, better off without them, and they're the ones who are talking bad behind your back, it's going to be a backfire on them every day, and they can't handle that mentally nor emotionally. Now, we know that individual toxic and dangerous people need to be avoided because in the long run, there's no limit how far they'll go to save face. Now let's go to society. Do you seriously think that groups of people are any different? Here's the difference between an individual having no limit to save face and a group of people having no limit to save face. An individual is just an individual. If an individual loses his mind and goes too far, picks up a gun or a knife, whatever, you can always call the cops. They have him arrested, or you can shoot it down with a bullet to neutralize the danger. But what if you have a group of people, especially a big group of people, in the hundreds of or thousands, or sometimes even tens of thousands or more of people who are in such a state? I'm telling you, examples like this are common in history. Nazi Germany is the most recent one for Europeans. But you have more examples like that throughout history, when groups of people don't want to own up to their deficiencies and their failures because they would either lose their reputation or they would either lose financial benefits or they would just look bad towards themselves also. And people don't want to go through that. And there's another thing. When a group of people fail or they do wrong, they often want to admit, because once they admit they've done wrong, now they're obliged to do whatever they can to make it up as far as they can. It also means reparations or also conceding leverage. Let me tell you, people in the world do not want to concede leverage. That's a very scary and terrifying thing for them to do. They always want to have some type of perceived control over their lives or over their environment. So if people, let's say someone was sexually molested as a child, and the neighborhood let it happen, knew what was going on, nobody intervened. Now that the child is a grown man, a grown woman, they have a lot of psychological issues that they are going through. Who's going to pay all those medical bills? Who's going to compensate the fact they couldn't work often to take care of themselves because they were psychologically damaged? Well, guess what? If the group did not admit they were in on the child being molested, guess what? Now the child's an adult, they can always deny that they were involved. They can always deny that it's not on them. They can also say, oh, it's the perpetrator. The perpetrator need to go off the perpetrator. They can put all the blame on the perpetrator. Now, the perpetrator is to blame, of course. The perpetrator should not have molested the child. Here's the thing. Why they allow it to happen? Or why didn't no one intervene? As long as the focus only on the quote-unquote bad guy or the villain, the rest of the community that failed or that was in on the crime is left off the hook. They can continue living life, go to bed, wake up in the morning, go to work, come back home, marry, divorce, go to parties, switch jobs, whatever you want to do without being bothered by what happened. But the moment the proof is out there that an adult is a victim of child molestation, and the proof comes out that the environment allowed it to happen, guess what? Anyone who was part of that environment, or anyone now involved with someone who was part of that environment, will be affected negatively. Let's say your husband used to be part of that environment. Now, you didn't know your husband back then. Okay? You just met your husband 4 years ago. You got married 2 years ago. But let's say 10 years ago, your husband was part of an environment that allowed someone to be molested. Now that you're married with your husband, people can look at you the wrong way, thinking, how could you marry a man without something horrible things to happen? Or let's say now that uh, you have you have a business, you have a manager working for you, and your manager was part of that environment and allowed some molestation to happen. Now people will question you and your whole business, thinking, how could you hire someone like that, not knowing the character he or she has? You may lose clients, customers, your business will go bankrupt. What I'm saying is, when neglect happens in a community and the proof comes out, everyone who was part of that environment, or everyone now who's linked to someone who was part of the environment, will all suffer damage. Financial damage, reputational loss. Because reputational loss and financial damage, some people may become homeless, some marriages may fall apart, friendships may break, so it's going to cause a lot of unrest. So what happens is, in the world, communities as well as society itself, often they either deny the violence that they committed, because where the group actually joined in on the violence, or they just allowed to happen, they both it's both they're both guilty, because in both cases they let it happen, where they participate indirectly or they passively let it happen. So what happens now is that when scandals come out, society as well as communities in the world either tend to deny it, or they tend to minimize what happened, like it wasn't that bad, or try to look for a villain to explode on. Why should the rest of the people don't have to face the backlash of what they were part of? Or maybe bystanders who are not directly part of what goes on are also affected, they want to be affected by it. Anyway, whether it's the people directly involved in the environment that allowed the bad thing to happen, or people associated with those who were involved, people will face backlash. Unpleasant, horrible backlash. And let me tell you, when things like this go on, society has no limit how far it will go to save face. Where the society will use its own institutions, and it will use the law of the land and the court system to shut someone up, or to frame people into a prison sentence, or to frame people as crazy, put them in a mental asylum. They can go the legal way to save face of the collective, where it is that they put all the focus only on the direct perpetrator and forget about the people around who just let it happen. That's something you often do in the criminal justice system. For example, there's human trafficking. Oh, they go after the trafficker. But why don't they go after the clients? Why don't they go after people who enabled it? Because if they do that, too much will be exposed, and they don't want that to happen, because then the whole community, and if there's society, the whole society will be uprooted, and it all will crash. What I'm saying is that society will go quite far to save face. They have no limit how far they will go. Now, if the legal way doesn't work, society will turn a blind eye to criminals, or just evil people in general, taking matters into their own hands. Let's say now that you were, neglected severely by the people that raised you, not just your parents' whole environment. And now, as a grown man, you succeed in life. And when people, not because now you don't talk about your past, but when people investigate your past, they see a lot of gaps into your past. And some people figure out, so what happens now? Out of the blue, you may have some narcissists that will make up lies about you, spreading smear campaigns about you. And for some reason, even though You press charge against them, the courthouse is very slow in prosecuting them. Why? Because the courthouse knows you are an elephant in the room. You are a topic people don't discuss. You are a hot potato. Anytime you're mentioned, the defect of the community has to be mentioned too. And with that, present day relationships and present day finances will suffer harm. And because nobody wants to go through present day financial and relationship crashes, people tend to tell you, well, just smear your name, but just let it happen, or it's not that bad. But on the other hand, if you are suspected of something wrong, they're quick to come after you. They'll even be extra motivated to do that. Why? Because your very existence exposes something embarrassing about the community or about society. That's why the quicker they get rid of you, the better it is for the functioning of the community. I'm not saying it's a good thing for the people in general, because it's violence, but still for the community to function or for society to work, the quicker they get rid of you, the better it is. Now, if they can't get rid of you in the legal way, they will turn a blind eye and will give opportunity for criminals and evil people to do the dirty job. And that's how a lot of people end up going missing. Listen, I already explained to you, cold cases don't exist. Those cold cases are setups by society or sometimes by local communities because there's something they want to keep hidden, and whatever individual went missing was proof of the scandal they wanted to keep hidden. That's why they got rid of the individual. Yes, police will turn a blind eye. The court system will turn a blind eye. The politicians will turn a blind eye. Church will turn a blind eye. A lot of those so-called social justice warriors or those freedom fighters or the truth seekers will turn a blind eye. Yes, when things become too challenging or too confronting, most people in the world will turn a blind eye and they don't want anything to do with it. That's how it goes. Now, why am I informing you about this? I want this to get through to you. Just because you have laws in the lands, you have a police force, you have a prison system, just because you have international treaties, those things don't change fallen mankind. As long as human beings are not serving the Heavenly Father in agreement with Christ, they are unstable in the long run, and unstable people do unstable things. Not all of them are unstable in the same way, but all of them in the long run are unstable. All of them rely on this psychological fiction to motivate them to go through life. The moment this fiction that's validated by society is in danger, they will look for ways to stop the situation, just want it to stop. They don't want to know what goes on. They're not interested in the solution. They just want it to stop for them to continue life unbothered and without being challenged. That's fallen mankind. That is the world. So don't think your own family will not do you dirty. Don't think your own spouse may not be an agent trying to set you up. Now, I'm not saying all of this for you to become paranoid and think everyone's after you, because you have those weirdos online, including on YouTube, who claim that everyone's after them. They claim to be so special that everyone is after them. But then when you look at them, what are they doing in life that will trigger people to go after them? You have a lot of those people who are far gone mentally on social media claiming that they're being harassed, they're being gang stalked, or they're targeted individuals, whatever. Listen, I'm not saying it can't happen that people are after you. It happens in the world. But the thing is, if people are after you, I'm sorry, but why put yourself out there and make it easier to come after you? You have people who are on YouTube for 10 years claiming they're targeted individuals or targeting them. What? Most of the time, when someone is targeted, it's either for an assassination or to shut them up. You're not going to be targeted 10, 20, 30 years by the same people. You may be targeted by the same organization, but there will be other people involved in the case. But anyway, what I'm saying here is that what I'm teaching here is not to trick you into paranoia. If you're paranoid or you head in that direction, go get counseling, go to therapy, you need help. I'm just pointing out to you, it's a realistic fact, proven in history, that societies as well as local communities will turn on you the moment your very existence becomes a threat to their daily ease. That's one thing worldlings will not negotiate about, their daily ease. They may be okay living a less comfortable life financially, but they will not negotiate their daily ease internally. Because without that, they have no psychological guard against anxiety, unrest, all type of other stuff. And listen to me. If your existence alone, it doesn't have to be that you were a big victim of the community and everyone neglects you. It can also be, for example, that you achieve something, and let's say you got your bachelor's degree. Or let's go further. Let's say you got your high school diploma. And in your family, where you grew up, almost nobody has a high school diploma. And you got your high school diploma. Now, you getting a high school diploma will make your other relatives look bad. You think a lot of them will be happy with that? It will also make other people look bad, who look down on you and think, oh, he's from a family where nobody has school, man. They don't even finish high school in that family. So a lot of people look down on you, think that, oh, you're just like your family. You won't even finish high school. You're not only finish high school, you'll also finish your bachelor's degree. You think those people look down on you, feel good about themselves, they're going to be happy now? Then it costs on you, finish your bachelor's degree, will cost them a crash internally. And this internal crash, they have to live with it when they go to sleep, when they are awake, because they can't get out of their own minds. So when they collapse mentally, because their self-worth has crashed, and in this case, their self-worth relies on looking down on people like you. Guess what? Guess what? Who are they going to blame? You. And those people that crash internally, that crash will not only affect them, it will also affect other people around them. So now other people around them will have to experience their decline. And let's say a lot of people are declining, and all the people that decline mention your name. The public is going to assume if all these people are losing their minds, are mentioning your name, there must be something about you. And because they don't want to deal with the fact that dealing with psychologically decomposing people, they'll turn their focus on you. Try to find something about you that they can go off at. That's how it goes in the world. Human history proves this. I'm not telling you to walk around on eggshells, paranoid, always expecting anyone at any time to do you dirty, like everyone's after you. Don't. What I'm telling you is to be alert. The world is all about being left alone. It's all about being at ease continuously and being unbothered. That's how world people are. And they will join anyone and any group that will rescue them from having to own up to reality. I'm telling you. So don't think it's strange if your own relatives, so-called friends, or even your own partner, or people you never expect suddenly walk away from you, ghost you, whatever. When your existence doesn't fit the toxic restrictions of society, people will seek to get rid of you, either legally or they will turn a blind eye and kind of motivate people to do it illegally. For example, a lot of people maybe talking shit behind your back, maybe complaining about you all the time. And them complaining about you all the time causes a bad atmosphere. Instead of people telling, hey man, shut your mouth or stop complaining about this guy. If it's a group of people doing it, complaining about someone, how could the whole group just shut their mouth? Then it will escalate. So in that case, because people want to complain to stop, people think, you know what, if you guys are so upset with this guy, then I'll do something about it. You will always have some toxic individual or some low-life individual who doesn't have much to lose. They'll say, you know what, everyone's complaining about Kevin, or everyone's complaining about Lisa, let me do something to Lisa. So that everyone will stop. And then the individual who kills Lisa or attacks Kevin is arrested by the police, and now everyone is at ease. But here's the thing, the guy who thought let him do something about it, he's now going to prison. And the rest of the community will act like, well, he's a crazy guy, he did it. Even though they were the ones that were murmuring about you, hoping that someone will do the dirty job for them. And now that someone did the dirty job, now they all are at ease now. Simple as that. Again, we walk in power, we walk in forgiveness. Walk in love towards other people. But you can't walk in love with everyone, because not everyone is safe to walk with. So, realize that society has no limit how far it will go to save face. They'll do it the legal way. When the legal way doesn't work, they'll go the illegal way. And of course, when you go the illegal way, it just then gives opportunity to bad people, evil people, and criminals to have their way with you. I'm telling you, no law written anywhere can prevent people from going this far. They will go this far. All that will keep you safe is the power of God working through you. So walk by faith, agree with Christ, and don't be naive. Be at peace.